right, good morning, Arizona and Colorado, and anybody that's streaming into 1360khnc.com across the country and the world. This is the Patriot Trading News Hour. The number to call to buy gold and silver, which is what we do, is 800-951-0592. We have some tremendous buys today. I think there'll even be more buys. We got a lot of good stuff coming. So on this show, let's just stick to what's in front of me. We got some gold and some silver specials coming. Keep the number handy. I think there's going to be some customers that are going to be very happy with a couple of the items we have today. The number is 800-951-0592. I am not Joe Jaquint. I am Jason. I'm joined with my co-host Bryan to do another show of the Patriot Trading News Hour. Joe's on vacation, and it's been real busy around the radio station. And yesterday we were, I was itching to sell something, and just, sometimes the prices just aren't right. And then suddenly today there's quite a few items. We got gold. Gold is pushing upwards today, up about $26. We got silver, which was up, and then it came up a little more. And it came up a little more, and it's currently about up 78 cents. The special that I have on silver is a one ticket item. I'll bring that into the. We're going to really discuss this item, Bryan and myself, on the next segment.
Jason, do we have the Price is Right game show sound? Maybe we need to bring that up whenever you pitch the special today.
I'll get with Jack on that for sure. I mean, here's the thing. Joe is not here. So every morning when prices have a good move, Bryan, Joe has to reset the prices, because obviously we're a commodity sellers. We sell gold and silver. So if gold goes up $20, $30, $50, $100, we have to adjust our prices for our normally priced items. Same if it goes down. Silver, the same thing. Well, Joe's on vacation. I was never given the keys to get in there. I'm not an internet guy myself, and most of that's done through Arizona. But so the prices on the website have not been adjusted up. All the prices at the website, keep in mind, should be adjusted up. I think Joe's going to try to get that done maybe later today or tomorrow, because we need to keep the prices logical. But we have a couple of gold items we're going to bring on the air here in a little bit. You'll have to keep in mind, if you go to the website to compare, it's great. What we have to sell on the gold is going to be it's going to be a great day to buy. The number again, 800-951-0592. I'll bring Bryan in again. Bryan, we'll hit the specials in the next segment, but I saw you just made it in here in the last minute. What's going on with you right now?
Yeah, screeching tire sounds. I want to talk about the special, but I know we'll hold that off. Other than if it's what you showed me last night here at the station, it's amazing. Not just the silver part of it, but the historical part of it. I wanted to keep looking at it, so just as a teaser for that.
Yeah, we're going to examine the silver special starting the next segment. I'm just going to go through it because it's just something fun to talk about. It's just going to be something fun to talk about because I'm going to read some of the stuff that's on this product. It's a one item. So if you're one guy that wants to buy something really extraordinary, it'll be first come, first serve. Unfortunately, this is one of those weird items. I could have broken it into a whole lot of pieces and sold a little bit to everyone, but this is something I want to keep into one piece. We're gonna find one guy. Hopefully, Bryan and Arlene will stay in close contact because we want the first guy to call in and get it. And then once that item's sold, it should be probably sold in the next segment. We'll go on to the gold special after that. But Bryan,
I think it's like a treasure, Jason. I think that could qualify as a treasure item. It's incredible. But
if you listen to this station and you love this country and silver and gold is a place to be, and then on top of that, you want some of the cheapest silver you can get your hands on. This is like. It's better than a no lose situation. It's a no way. It's a win every time, no lose situation. That's what this silver item is, and we'll have some fun talking about it, Bryan, on the next segment. We have a lot of inflation.
Well, it's much more, Jason. It's much more fun to talk about than what I heard on our little news blip about the CDC. What's the rent forgiveness? I forget what that term is.
Forbearance.
It's interesting. Forbearance, thank you. That's ending this month. And my question goes back: who gave the CDC, which is not even wholly a government entity in the first place, get the authority to do that? That's mind-boggling to me. But that's not nearly as fun as the special we're going to be talking about soon.
And the government's going into vacation at the end of July. That's the end of this week.
That's right.
They're trying to push their $3.5 trillion next package, which I have a feeling that's getting all heated up there. I'm sure they're going to want to push that thing through. I saw it's interesting, Brian. It looked like it would take about $550 billion off the government books, which that's the $600 billion that Trump on his first little program to add money to the books. That's the money they're going to need with the government shutdown here in September to float them a couple of more months. So the government's going on vacation here till September at the end of this month.
Oh, they sure earned it, haven't they? They've worked so hard on our behalf.
Well, and that little cushion that they had, which would the government shutdown, which is going to be in September when they get back in session. They're not going to have that cushion anymore. So, man, why do I get the feeling we're going to flow through August a little bit? Maybe they get this little $3.5 trillion thrown out there and sprinkle a lot more free money out there, make people happy for about another month. And why do I get the feeling September, flu season, that all emergencies are going to break loose, and those people that weren't buying cheap and cheap silver and cheap gold in this little place that Brian and I call the good old days, there's these little levels that we sit at for a short time, those prices are going to disappear, Brian.
Yeah, you're right, Jason. I mean, you're right. We've been talking about it for 3 years. The window is narrowing, right? How can it not be narrowing? But again, I'm just excited about the special today, and hope everyone's having a good day in Arizona, Colorado Front Range, and beyond. Stay tuned. More Patriot Radio News Hour coming up next after this quick break. Stay with us.
Okay, welcome back. This is the Patriot Trading News Hour. I am your guest host, Jason, a partner of the Patriot Trading Group. I have guest host Bryan on with me, another owner of the Patriot Trading Group. We're the guys that heeded the call from Joe back in Groundhog's Day 2018 is when he went on the air and wanted to open up an office and bring on some partners. And it's been it's been exciting. It's been a pleasure to be involved in this. It's been more than I thought it would be. And we're guest hosting for Joe, who's got a vacation going on. We have a silver item, Bryan, and I know that I had you get up out of your chair and come take a look at this last night, and you were blown away by it.
Yeah, indeed. And just referring back to that 3 years ago, wasn't that a quiet lull in gold and silver? I mean, it was moving, but compared to where things are going,
it was at the tail end of the quantitative easing, which they took all that money like they're printing now, but they just stuffed it in the big banks and it didn't go anywhere. They didn't loan it out. They didn't give it to anybody. And so gold and silver spiked in 2011 and then just came down. And you had gold kind of in this 1,250 range for about 6, 7, 8 years, Bryan. And that's when we came in, is towards the very end of that in 2018, which is why I constantly hit the drum. This is the good old days. This is the good old days. You're not going to get gold this cheap again. Get it now. Get it now. This is one of the, you should be happy it's been sitting here, that they manipulated it just so you can buy it. And then sure enough, at the end of 19 and into 20, off it went. And now we're selling gold pieces in the 2,000s of dollars, Bryan.
Well, and all during that same time, all the hype, whether it's watching what the stock market does, the appearance of what it's doing, the cryptos. I don't even hesitate to even call them currency, just because what we've talked about before, how they've technically been regarded and classified by governments, which ought to give you an indication of their tepidness about it, unless they can get their mitts around it. I know the underlying technology is makes it somewhat secure, but never put it past these legislators or lobbyists to, and that's even below the central bankers to manipulate this thing. But gold and silver just continuing to do what they do in the background, while all these other artificial things get hyped.
Rise with inflation, and with the inflation going the way it's been burned in the end of last year and into this year, I just heard Jerome Powell yesterday admit that inflation's above our 2% target. It's going to remain there. It'll go away sometime. And if you know anything about this show and anything about how the Federal Reserve works, can't believe anything they say. But when they sit there and admit things are bad, but they say it's no big deal, that means it's really bad, really bad. And so you're going to see gold and silver prices catch on a little late, There's a little bit of a pushback because when gold and silver is going up, it indicates something's going wrong. And they want to make sure that when gold and silver goes up, it happens during an emergency so that it makes sense. And just before we came off the break, Brian, I was talking, forbearance is ending. The government's going into recess. They're going to try to print up another, the government wants to throw another $3.5 trillion around the country to fix and prop up their pet programs, which will probably satisfy the markets for another month or two. And then here we come, the debt ceiling, flu season. What's going to happen? I think the fall and winter of the rest of this year and the beginning of next year is going to be we're going to see something. Something's going to happen, and buying this stuff that we're selling now is the time, not waiting till October, November, January, March of next year, Brian.
Well, and the whole forbearance thing, again, setting aside who gave the CDC, a quasi-governmental entity, the authority to do that in the first place. If that doesn't tell you what the general thought is, at least coming out of that slime pit in D.C., how private property is regarded, which is, our longtime listeners and customers, this is 101 to them. But possession being 9/10 of the law, it's in your possession. They can declare and dictate whatever the hell they want to. Does not overrule that fact of what you're holding into your physical possession.
And Brian, just take a page out of Mickey Mantle, the famous old New York Yankees baseball player. He was asked by a reporter, "Why do you play so hard? Why do you always playing harder than everybody else on the field every single day? Because these guys play 160 games a year." So why are you always playing your hardest every time? Why does it seem like that you never let up? He said, I never know who is watching me play for the first time. I've always taken that into our shows here at Patriot Trading Group. I can say, I can spout out gold and silver 101 every single day if I have to. I know that the more experienced listeners want to hear Joe Jacob with the big numbers and really push down the road. And I think that's why our show has been a good one for new listeners, because you got to bring the new guys in that don't understand this and put it on a low understanding level, and then you build up to the really, hey, what do these numbers mean? Why are these numbers out there? Why are these to me, the numbers are always corrupted and wrong. But we have a great team here, so let me get
you can get a sign in the direction of either where things are going or where they want it to go by studying. And I know that's what Joe does. I mean, he's hardcore on that, and I know that's why his loyal listeners tune into him every day to get that information as well. So
right, well, I'm going to get into the silver item, and before Brian and I talk about all the bells and whistles, let's just do the mechanical part for this item. It's one item. It's a large item. I'm going to tell you what this is silver wise, and then we're going to talk about how cool it is, the bells and the whistles. I mean, really, we could probably spend 3 minutes on this, tell you what it is, get off of it. But there's so much. It's so cool. We're just going to talk about it for a little while. So these are 2-ounce sterling silver ingots, and there's 117 of them in this collection. Okay, now I weighed them. They're about I didn't want to rip them out of because there's a lot of display and show here, so I couldn't get it the exact weight because I didn't want to pull it out of the cardboard that each individual one is in. But basically, I got them to around 68 grams. It's sterling silver. Sterling silver, if you don't understand, is 0.925. It's 92.5% silver. We got numerous customers that buy 90% silver. Dimes, quarters, half dollars, silver dollars, those are 90% silver. Sterling silver is basically the same, but it's got a little bit more silver in it, a little less copper. So these are done in proof in kind of a nice strike, a very artistic strike. Each piece is different. All 117 will be different. And with the 68 grams, you multiply that by 0.925 to get your silver content. You get about 62 plus grams, which 31.1 grams is an ounce of silver. So these are 2 ounces of silver. They're heavier than 2 ounces because they're sterling silver. But the makers of this thing, the Bicentennial Council of the 13 original states, they're the ones that put this out starting in the 70s and into the 80s. It's the official bicentennial ingots. There's a lot of history with this. So let me stick with the silver for another moment or two. 117 pieces. There's 2 ounces of silver in each one, so it's 234 ounces of silver is what you're going to get. We're going to sell it to one customer. I could have parted it out, but this is a cool item for somebody that really cares about American history and specifically the War for Independence and the original 13 colonies. I'm pricing this as the cheapest silver you can get your hands on top of everything else we're going to talk about. I'm going to sell it at $28 an ounce. It's cheaper than any silver that you can get pretty much anywhere on any internet, anywhere. It's cheaper than junk silver. It's cheaper than silver eagles. Cheaper than silver bars. So you're going to get a historical, very interesting item. It is a big item. These books, there's 2 books they come in. Very, they look like something that would be in a grand regal type of library. Real big, heavy-duty books that they put all the history and the writing about these, what is on each ingot. Something you would put on a bookshelf. The price on these at $28 an ounce puts us at $6,550. It's a one-off item. As soon as Arlene texts Bryan at some point here in the next few minutes or in the next segment, however long it takes for this one item to sell, we'll take it off. We'll stop talking about it. But cheapest silver you're going to get, 2 ounce. They call them ingots, but it's a rectangular bar. It's a 2 ounce bar of silver. So Bryan, why don't you give some of your observations when you looked at these last night about what you saw?
Well, there's a scene depicted on the face. You were looking at what was engraved on the I call it the edge. That's not what you called it.
The rim. The
rim. Thank you. Yep, the rim. And then on the back, there's a brief description. The cardboard or the paper a tray that it's encased in has a stamp on the front of where where the activity took place, and on the back is a further description. And that's just one of these 117, which are all, as you've already said, Jason, all unique. The bound book that they're in, I don't know if it's legal size. It's a tall.
It looks like legal paper. Taller book. Legal paper size. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And each one is partially overlaid on the next. Easy to flip through them. I didn't count how many pages there were. Were there 5 or 6 to a page?
The first book has 70, 5 per page, and the second book has 47 of them.
Gotcha. And so the 2 books, the special is both books together today?
That's right. All 117 ounces, the whole set that was brought to us. You'll be getting the whole set for $6,550. That comes out to $28 an ounce. So what? When you look
at the historical part of each and every one of those depicting a scene in United States history is that was the amazing part. I was just looking at a couple of them and reading just the vault, the national treasure of history that's sitting right there in these collections.
Yeah, let me go. I'm going to go over I'm going to tell you what I'm looking at. So there's a card. There's the ingot. The card's bigger than the 2 ounce silver bar, and there's a picture. So let's just do the first one, the Boston Tea Party, which shows American colonists dressed up as Indians throwing the tea into the harbor, right? That's what the first 2 ounce bar looks like on the obverse. On the reverse, it tells you what that is, and that it's the date that it was issued and where it was sent from. So these are sent from different states and different cities, each one of them. Because if this was the Boston Tea Party, this one was sent from Boston, and there's a stamp on it, and it was mailed to the original customer from Boston. So, seems like you go back a few decades or you go back a few hundred years, it seems like people are always doing things better. Can you imagine anyone even attempting to do something like this? How expensive it would be today, Bryan?
Yeah, just every little detail of the packaging, the book, the stamp on the face of the card that's got the ingot contained within it. Just that level of detail. And I forget what was on the face of the first page, not the outside of the book, but the first page describing the contents.
In commemoration of the 200th anniversary of the American Revolution, the Bicentennial Council of the 13 Original States presents the official bicentennial ingots. First edition, sterling silver proofs, and specifically postmarked commemorative cachets. And, things like this is, back in the 70s and 80s, these are things that you would, that they would have on infomercials or mailings because, we didn't have the internet. And people were trying to sell items of value, and this is something that these people, figured out. Hey, these are made out of sterling silver. You can't go wrong. It's silver, and as you look at these, so you flip each page has 5, and you can flip. They're all in plastic, so it covers the writings. They're not badly toned or ugly like a lot of these collector's items, and they all have history on the back. So, like the third one. England avenges the Boston Tea Party by closing the port of Boston. These all have pictures on the front that the whatever the hit on the silver is. England attempts to control the government of Massachusetts. The Quebec Act suppresses the colony's growth westward. We're going to talk a little bit more about this set. First come, first serve, $6,550 at 800-951-0592. We'll be right back.
234 ounces sterling silver.
Welcome back. Patriot Trading News Hour. I am your guest host, Jason, joined with my partner, Bryan, talking about this silver item. Bryan, we haven't got the sale done yet, right?
Nope. Okay. No word from Arlene yet, so still available.
No problem. Great. That means we get to talk about it more, which I'm actually kind of happy about that because it's pretty cool. So we were talking about this, it's in a large book. The first book has 70 of these 2-ounce ingots in there. I was reading some of the stuff that's on the back. I just flipped a couple of pages back. When you look at the front of let's just say this one I'm looking at, it has the bicentennial councils, the 13 original colonies. That's who put this product out, and it's about the war for independence. Each one are 2 ounces. The way we've got this thing priced, and I'll cover that here in a minute, is it's a no-brainer. It's basically, we're going to talk about it on this show. If for some reason one guy doesn't want this, I've pretty much got the guy that I make a phone call to is going to. But I wanted, I always don't like to give it just to that guy. I like to have somebody that hears on the air to get this gem of a collection. But so this one I'm looking at on the front, it has the incredible 10-cent stamp to mail it, Bryan, which is back in the 70s.
Yeah.
And it says the chief office, August 14, 1975, London. This one was sent from London. Isn't that crazy to think that all these different pieces, they wanted to make it such an important collection that the guy that was buying this, they were shipped from these different places. Now, the back of this one says, the colonies make a final plea for peace. And then it has a couple of paragraphs that talk, August 14, 1775, Richard Penn, an official messages from the Continental Congress arrived in England to make a final attempt to prevent the outbreak of war between America and Great Britain. And so there's all of this there. So I'm gonna give it to you from 2 angles. Number one angle, you're getting silver at $28 an ounce. It's so mind-numbingly cheap that if you're going to buy silver, this is the cheapest way to buy it. It's the cheapest silver that we have that, as far as I can tell, anybody else has. Number 2, if you look at $28 an ounce, so each one of these is $56. So I went and just checked out on the open market what if any of this stuff is available, eBay and places like that. I found somebody that had parted these out and was selling them as silver items. This was not on an auction. This was the sell price, $79 for one. That's the price that they put on this. Obviously $40 an ounce, but there's also $4.30 shipping. That's not included on our item. So $83.30, that was the cheapest that you can get any of these individually. $83.30. Bryan, we're not even competing with it. We've smashed it. We're at $56 each. You just, wow. There's no way to beat it. Number 2, I saw just one other guy out there was selling the first book, the one I'm sitting in front of me with the 70 of them in there. Their price was just shy of $4,400. That's the price with shipping. If you're in Arizona and listening to this, We will ship this to you. Your price is also $6,550. There is a $50 shipping charge to get it to Arizona if you're listening and want this. So this goes for Colorado or Arizona. Anybody can get this. $4,400 for the first book, Bryan, with shipping. If you price this at the $56 per 2-ounce ingot, we're at $39.20 for the first book.
Oh.
Almost $500 cheaper. All right, $500 cheaper for a really cool item, a silver item, and also pricing the silver you're getting at far below anything else we're selling. So for example, if you're one of those guys that likes dimes, quarters, and half dollars, you like 90% silver, this is really kind of up your alley because this is 92.5%. It's sterling silver on the rim of each of these pieces, just like any silver piece out there, whether it be your silverware that you eat with or your jewelry that you wear. If it's sterling silver, it's by law it can only say sterling on the piece if it's pure sterling silver, not plated. So these are authentic. On every single one of these, it says limited edition, proof sterling silver right underneath on the insert. So these are you don't have to worry about I would not have purchased these if it wasn't legitimate sterling silver, 92.5% pure silver. So Bryan, price wise, unbeatable anywhere in the country, and an item that I mean, quite frankly, if you're a homeschooler, if you're teaching a child's American history, man, you're going to be learning about economics with the silver part of this, and you're going to be learning about very specific parts of the war, the war for independence, the Battle of Bennington, Washington meets Lafayette, the scalping of Jane McCrea. Congress adopts the Stars and Stripes, the Battle of Princeton. I mean, every one of those is a specific hit and strike with a picture. I mean, they're all small works of art, Bryan.
117 unique, no duplicates, right?
No duplicates. Every one of them is different. Every one of them has a story on the back that talks about what the strike and picture on the front are. Like here's one with some really cool ships. Let's see what this one is. John Paul Jones defeats the British off Flamborough Head. Stuff that we used to learn in history class. I don't think Jack. I'm going to put Jack on. Jack, do you even know any of these things we're talking about on the backs of these cards?
No.
Did you even learn about John Paul Jones when you were in school?
Yes, actually.
And you had a pretty good school that made you do 3 hours of homework for a while. So you maybe had a little advantage with a little bit of private schooling I had you in for a while. But
yeah, I think our history was a little bit better than most public schools.
How about the Allies fail to recapture Savannah? Right there, there's 3 paragraphs about specifically what that was during the Revolution. I mean, if you were let's just say you were 14 years old, Jack, and we were homeschooling at home, this might be a really good way to learn what really happened during that time period.
Yeah.
Bryan, go ahead. What is your take?
No, that's a great idea. Great addition to a homeschooler's library, or as a grandparent to add it to your grandkids' homeschool library. That's an awesome idea.
Let me say this. Let's say you're a guy that says, I don't care about any of that. I want cheap silver. Well, I've already made that point. You've got it, but you could take all of these. Plus all the historical aspects, the card that they're in, the sleeve, the postmark on the front, the stamp, for heaven's sake, from when they started mailing these in the 200-year anniversary, right? 76. Yeah, the packaging and display alone is got hundreds of dollars of value. But if you're the guy that's like, I don't care about all that, you could take all these ounces, melt them down, sell them as bars, and probably go make your money and plus some back. We'll talk a little bit more about this and maybe get into our gold specials. Stay tuned. Patriot Trading News Hour. We'll return.
800-951-0592.
Yes, we'll get those prices. You know what? We'll get that price on the way in. Okay, we are back. The Patriot Trading News Hour. We're getting a confirmation. I think we may have sold the set. Let's find out before we. I don't want to give the price out if it's gone. So, Bryan, a little bit of confusing text from Arlene. Is that set sold?
Still ascertaining that right now.
Okay, we believe it's sold. The text was vague, so Arlene is very articulate. She's very precise. So I'm very I'm surprised that she sent a text that was. We're pretty sure we know what she's talking about, but we want to be sure before we move on here. So, Bryan, I'm going to start into the gold special. You tell me when you have verification.
Will do.
We have a couple of gold items here. Gold is up. We did not. I'm unable to reset the gold prices up. So right now, if you're looking at a $5 gold Indian on our site, it says it's $650. That's what you can buy it for. Gold is up, I think, and I haven't looked at it in the last few minutes, but it was up over $25. Silver was up over 78 cents. I'm going to go get an update on the spot prices here in a minute. But as I priced that silver item, silver went up like another 30, 40 cents after I priced it this morning. So already an outstanding price, and then silver just kept going up. Same thing with gold. Gold just keeps on inching up this morning. So I can't move the prices up. I think Joe will probably adjust the prices here in the next day or so before the weekend. However, we have $5 Indians. $5 gold Indians, we have 30 of them. That is the limit, 30. I am pricing these at the website price because of the move on gold. We had them at the regular price of $650. I'm going to keep the price the same. So if you look at the website and you think that's not much of a special, well, I believe from what I understand that the $5 Indian prices were probably going to be $650, $665 or $670. That's actually where they're going to move. In fact, I think Joe had the price on the website because of his, hey, the guy's going on vacation. He's got a lot of things going on. I think he was supposed to raise the price on those regularly before he left. He didn't. Now gold has popped up a little bit, so it should be higher. I'm going to keep it right there. You're going to get these. The special on these $5 gold Indians is $650. There's 30 of them. Probably the website price will be moved to $660, $665, or $670 tomorrow. I don't know the exact price, but $660 is definitely a safe assumption. $665 probably more appropriate. $35 gold Indians at $650 each. You call 800-951-0592. That number again is 800-951-0592. Now I have an additional gold item. And this is sort of the cat is away, the mice will play sort of special here. Joe's gone, and I get to head the ship, so to say. We have $20 liberties. $20 liberties. Gold's up $25, $26. I lowered the price lower than our $20 specials the last few weeks. I decided just to push it even lower. And this is going to be a this today only price. I think we'll go to the end of the day, maybe to our 3 o'clock show here in Colorado. But this is going to be a today only special at this price, $2,065. Gold went up. The normal price, $20 liberties are $20.95 before gold went up, which means the price could be reset in the $21.10 range, $21.20 range. On the website that was not updated, it's $20.95. And I went $30 below the old price before gold went up. $20.65, the cheapest $20 liberties we've had. 800-951-0592. I know we've had them for $20.75 and $20.70, $20.95 in recent weeks, Bryan. But you can get a $20 liberty at Patriot Trading Group, 800-951-0592. You can get at that phone number for $2,065 today only. Call the number, get your financial house in order because, as we just said earlier, inflation's hitting hard. The government's going away for the little vacation. They're going to try to force another $3.5 trillion of expenses and taxation and nonsense. There's going to be a debt ceiling problem in September when they finally get back from the little vacation. And that's about the same time the flu season comes in. You can call it coronavirus season. I guess maybe that'll be the new one, I guess. Whatever your take is on this pandemic nonsense that we're forced to deal with now, they need an emergency so that when gold and silver pops and the markets have troubles, they can blame it on something. Get gold and silver at these cheap prices. Get it today. Buy it. You got $20 liberties at $20.65 and $5 Indians at $650. your choice, buy one of each. What a cool thing to have, a little quarter-ounce fractional gold and an almost 1 ounce $20 Liberty. Buy one of each. Call 800-951-0592. Bryan, do you have an update on the silver?
On with them right now, Jason. I'll be right back with you.
Okay, you're on the phone with them now. So it looks like we're sealing the deal on the silver, but if that's not done, we'll talk a little bit more on the last segment about it. But the silver was just a steal. I mean, we just certain items, you got to get them in, get them out. The gold on the $20 Liberties, for example, that's another one of those. I'm going to sell that at that price today. We'll see what happens with gold tomorrow. I don't think that's going to be available at this price tomorrow, though. And the $5 Indians, that's just 30 of them. And I don't really know if there's, because I tried to pre-sell some of these before the show, so we may have come into the show with less than 30. But if you want a $5 Indian at $6.50 today, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I love coming on the show, and Joe obviously has been doing this longer than Bryan and myself, but I still find myself kind of feeling giddy and excited every time we sell gold, because I know what it's doing for the person who's receiving it. I've seen the people, I meet with the customers when they come on in and sell it to us when they need the cash to pay for whatever. I see the people that never walk away unhappy when they take these coins into their possession and walk out the door. 800-951-0592. We are Patriot Trading Group, your gold and silver experts. We will be back for the last segment. All right, final segment. And Bryan, we told them so, and one person got that silver item purchased, right?
They get that. That's right. That historical treasure trove of those ingots and all the history cards that go along with each one of them.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was a Colorado customer or an Arizona customer, but if it's a Colorado customer, I can't wait to meet with you to hand this to you, because what an extraordinary item. And like I said, it is big and bulky, but it's something that you got to really enjoy. But it doesn't matter. We priced it so cheap, but Bryan, you can tear this thing to shreds and just sell the raw silver and not worry about anything else. So it was when you got an item that's really, really got all these bells and whistles just blowing up, and I could have probably thrown another $1,000 on this thing. It would have been $32 an ounce. I could have easily sold it for that, but it was priced right to us, and this is how we do it. We try to make sure that if it's cheap to us, it's cheap to you guys, it's what we do. We had these 2-ounce silver bars some months ago, Bryan. It had some of the similar stuff, and I had some of the local banks all over the country. I'm always looking for cool items once in a while like this, where I'm going to find books and items like this to sell. It's just they don't always pop up, but maybe if I have a little extra time in my already ridiculous schedule, I'll try to get more items like this on the air, because I just think it's cool to sell different items, and especially ones that have some real extra value than just the metal.
Well, and the piece of history, I know it's a 200-year commemorative set, but the history entailed in it, I mean, I wanted to take it and just sit there and study all of it, but that 117 pieces. So congratulations to whoever that was that called to take advantage of that offer.
Exactly. But everybody else, hey, we got gold, Bryan. I think you probably heard the special going out, but we have
yes.
Indians, $5 Indians, and $20 Liberties. Yeah, see if you can retell the tale of those specials.
That's right. $5, about a quarter ounce of old private fractional to boot, gold Indian, $650 per coin, and then the $20 old private gold Liberty coins, 1866 to 1907 are the years those generally were minted. About an ounce again of that old private gold for $2,065, which is $30 off of the last time that we'd offered.
Yeah,
Liberties, Jason.
Yeah, those $20 Liberties. I just decided to have a little fun and just chopped a little extra price off that. Probably a little more than maybe Joe would have been comfortable with. But if I get a few times, when Joe goes on vacation, I'm gonna try to. I gotta say, hey, I sold a whole bunch of 20s while you're gone. Can you believe that, Joe? Hey, maybe you need to try a little harder, Joe. I have something to rib the big guy on, and so. If anything, if you're going to buy gold, just buy it so that we can give Joe a happy story of, hey, when you go away, we can still get some sales in there. We can still we can do it without you. You can take a vacation and rest easy. This is the let Joe enjoy his vacation. And if you're going to buy gold today, it's going to make it feel a little better that the operation can survive without him for a week, right, Bryan?
That's right. That's a great surprise return home present for him. So,
all right, we're out of here. Hey,
advice.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with you guys tomorrow.